Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here. So the patch notes just dropped for Season 6 of Apex Legends, which is releasing a little bit later tonight at 10 PM PT. So as always, I go through the patch notes and cover the most important points. First and foremost, before we start off the video, if you enjoy it, hit the like button as it really helps out the channel, and maybe even consider subscribing. And of course, the link to the full patch notes will be in the description down below, as well as in the top pinned comment. But without further ado, let's jump straight into this. Alright, so first and foremost, there has been some pretty big changes to the World's Edge map. I made a video on that yesterday. I'll leave a link, a card up in the top right hand corner, so you guys can go and check that out. We'll move straight to the new legend. So obviously the new legend is Rampart. So Ramia Parekh is a 21-year-old British Indian, blue-collar private business owner who just needs a big gun and a backpack full of scrap metal to get by in the dangerous Wild West world of the Outlands. Parekh brings her modded shields and knowledge of heavy weapons such as Sheila, well that's what she calls her minigun. So the passive modded loader Rampart has increased magazine capacity and faster reloads when using LMGs and the minigun. Modded loader also increases the amount of shots before overheating occurs and improves cooling when using the L-Star. Tactical amped cover. Rampart builds a crouch cover wall, which deploys a full cover amped wall that blocks incoming shots and amps outgoing shots. A max of 5 amped walls can be deployed at a time, so this seems like it's going to be pretty damn powerful. And as for the ultimate emplaced minigun called Sheila, Rampart places a mounted machine gun that anyone can use with high ammo capacity and a long reload time. A max of 3 miniguns can be deployed at a time. For Parekh, the Apex card means more than just an invitation to compete. The new weapon, so Volt SMG, the first energy-based SMG to see regular use in the Frontier. The Volt allows its operator to fire a salvo of energy-based ammunition, decreasing drag and making it possible to hit multiple targets within a short window. With Season 6, they also introduced the crafting system. We all know the RNG gods are not always in your favor. That is an understatement. With Season 6, we are introducing a crafting system. Find materials throughout the map via loot bins or material stations, then take these to a replicator. In the replicator, you'll find 8 different pieces of loot that you can craft, if you have enough materials. Some of this loot rotates on a weekly or daily basis, but you'll always be able to see what's currently craftable in the game mode selector or the map screen. Read more on the crafting system from systems designer Mark Yampolsky here. So armor meta. With Season 6, we're introducing some big changes to the way armor works in the game. First off, all armor in the game is Evo armor except the gold armor. When you find a white, blue, or purple armor on the ground, it's a pre-leveled Evo armor. It can be picked up like normal and continue to be evolved. Red armor is not in the ground loot and can only be achieved through evolving. Gold armor is not part of the Evo armor track and is only found in rare locations as usual. Another interesting change is that players spawn with level 0 Evo armor. If you get in gunfights right away and do enough damage, you will automatically level up into a white armor, and you can continue to take that all the way to red. We think this will really help with loot availability in the early game without requiring players to drop hot when they don't want to. With all the changes in Season 6, players now have the opportunity to level up their shields through damage, luck in ground loot, or through crafting. The last big difference is that all armor is coming down by 25 health. This means players with purple and gold armor have 175 health, not 200. Red armor gets you to 200 health, and you can no longer get to 225. Our goal for this is to bring down the TTK, time to kill, a bit in order to better reward strategic positioning. New damage requirements, so damage to white is 50, damage to blue is 125, damage to purple is 250, and damage to red is 500. Hollow sprays. Hollow sprays are a new way to emote in the arena. By using the emote wheel, you can throw down these legend-specific calling cards to taunt bested enemies or warn future challengers that you're not to be messed with. Moving on to the Battle Pass, this season's Battle Pass includes the reactive Supersonic G7, Bloodhound Road Warrior, 5 new Hollow Sprays, new Skydive emotes, weapon charms, and more. I'll link the Battle Pass trailer in the description down below, as well as in the top pinned comment, and maybe even a card up in the top right hand corner. Quests. Follow the story from the Season 5 quest, now in full color illustrated comics. Collect treasure packs daily to earn your rewards, including crafting materials, challenge points, apex packs, and a whole new suit of gun charms. Legends. This patch, we're taking a look at the Recon class, a class built around information gathering, should be powerful in a BR where knowing where the enemy is often the difference between life and death. But out of the 3 legends in the Recon class, Pathfinder, Crypto, and Bloodhound, one dominates in terms of in-game performance. It's the robot. The robot dominates. I like how they worded that. In this patch, we're mostly buffing Bloodhound as they needed the help the most. Crypto's changes are a mixed bag, as we also found one bug we had to fix that was giving Crypto a hidden advantage. TLDR, sometimes when you thought you were hitting the drone, you weren't really hitting the drone. Between the buffs to Bloodhound's ult and the new utility Crypto gains on his drone, we hope to see a more diverse field of Recon legends in the game. So Recon class, all Recon legends, Bloodhound, Pathfinder, and Crypto that is, can now use survey beacons to get the next ring location. Crypto can use his drone to instantly get this information. Pathfinder, Context. Giving all Recon legends access to survey beacons makes Pathfinder less unique, and obviously we don't love that. For now, we're giving our friendly robot a small buff to his ultimate cooldown when he uses a survey beacon, but in the future we will take another look at Pathfinder to see what else we could do to make him feel more unique. Passive. Each time Pathfinder scans a survey beacon, the total cooldown of Zipline Gun is reduced. Numbers. Zipline Gun cooldown reduced by 10 seconds each time Pathfinder scans a beacon. Up to 6 rings per game means the total cooldown of Zipline Gun can go from 120 seconds to 60 seconds. Bloodhound. Context. Bloodhound fulfills a very clear role in Apex Legends. They're the information gatherer and tracker, but currently their performance leaves a lot to be desired. In this patch, we wanted to double down on their ultimate being their big moment of becoming a godlike tracker. Bloodhound already gives up some information to the enemy when they scan or use the ultimate. It makes a noticeable sound, so we think there is room for a lot more power during the ultimate. Beast of the Hunt now gains even more duration when Bloodhound scores a knockdown or kill with the ultimate about to run out. Eye of the Allfather. During Beast of the Hunt, Eye of the Allfather now comes out twice as fast and has a much shorter cooldown. Numbers. Beast of the Hunt duration extension from 5 seconds to 15 seconds based on remaining duration. Eye of the Allfather cooldown during Beast of the Hunt from 25 seconds down to 6 seconds, and Eye of the Allfather total use time during Beast of the Hunt is from 1.8 seconds down to 0.9 seconds. Crypto. Context. Crypto is a particularly interesting Recon character. The amount of information he can gather for his team with the drone is very high, but the fact that he has to switch over to his drone leaves him vulnerable and often at a great distance from his team. Because he has no abilities without his drone, we figure there's room for even more power when he's in his drone. Surveillance drone. Crypto can now activate respawn and survey beacons from his drone. Doing so is instant instead of requiring a prolonged use. Made the surveillance drone slightly more consistent to hit, but also doubled its hit points. Drone EMP. EMP will now slow teammates caught in the blast, even if they had no shields. This means that players who have used Revenant's Death Totem will also be slowed. Numbers. Surveillance drone HP is up to 60 from 30, and surveillance drone hitbox size cube of edge length 16, now it's 24 edge length. Other legends, Revenant, Context. We're happy to see that dropping the range restriction on Death Totem brought a lot more Revenants into play, but we've been watching a particularly frustrating combo play out in professional level play involving a squad of Revenant, Wraith, and Crypto, where using the 3 ultimates together resulted in 2 back-to-back runs at the enemy team that they could do very little about. We've attacked part of that in the Crypto EMP change, but here's the other part aimed at making this play less overwhelming. Death Totem. For 2 seconds after being recalled by the Death Totem, players cannot use Wraith's Dimensional Rift. Octane can now use Stim while healing, but Stim will not remove the slow you incur from healing. Loba, Context. While Loba was initially very popular, she's been struggling to keep up more recently, so we're tossing her a little buff. If you're curious why we've chosen to buff her ultimate rather than her tactical, we're seeing that she has decent combat success, but that teams with her on them don't win as much as, say, teams with Lifeline or Watson. This suggests to us that her out-of-combat ability, that is to say, how she funnels loot to her team, isn't doing enough. So the Black Market lowered cooldown from 3 minutes to 90 seconds, which is great. Gibraltar, his defensive bombardment, increased cooldown from 3 minutes to 4.5 minutes. Bangalore, Rolling Thunder, decreased cooldown from 4.5 minutes to 3 minutes, which is great. That ult really needed some love. Watson, Interception Pylon. Trophy system will now shoot down caustic barrels in flight if they would have landed inside the range of the trophy. Loot, added, extended energy mags and the Turbocharger hop-up are back from the vault. They updated the Precision Choke, removed Precision Choke from Loot Pool, but it will now be integrated into the Triple Take and Peacekeeper by default. Fire select toggles on-off for the Choke. That is great. So for the supply drops, the R-99, damage increased from 11 to 12, increased magazine size to 32, and ammo reserve is 160. Out of supply drop into ground loot, the Devotion is back into the loot pool. Clip size reduced back to original values, so 36, 40, 44, and 48. Fully kitted weapon swaps, so that is gold weapons. They removed the Longbow, Hemlock, Spitfire, EVA 8, and RE45, and they added the Devotion, Mastiff, Triple Take Flatline, and the Volt. Updated loot, sniper ammo increased pickup from 8 to 12, increased stack size from 16 to 24. Energy ammo, reduced amount picked up from 30 to 20. Weapon updates, the Hemlock, reduced vertical recoil in burst mode, slightly reducing recoil pattern on second and third shots, so first burst kicks less. Burst mode time between bursts from 0.32 down to 0.28. Charge rifle will now use 2 ammo per shot, and they increased the mag size from 4 to 8. Triple Take buff, increased fire rate from 1.25 to 1.4, increased mag size from 5, 6, 7, 8 to 6, 7, 8, and 9. The Precision Choke hop-up now comes built into the weapon by default. The Peacekeeper, same thing. The Choke hop-up comes built into the weapon by default. Spitfire, improve recoil controllability. Havoc, updated Havoc with a new recoil pattern. Designer note, the Havoc's existing recoil pattern had constant horizontal movement. This means it would either be too difficult to control if there was too much recoil, or far too easy to control if there was too little recoil. Updating to a new pattern which is more consistent in style with existing recoil patterns. Mozambique, increased clip size from 3 to 4. Not that I think it's going to do much for it. P2020, increased damage from 13 to 15. Decreased hammer point damage multiplier from 2.7 to 2.35. This will leave hammer point P2020 damage unchanged in most scenarios. Increased mag size from 10, 13, 15, 18 to 12, 14, 16, and 18. Sentinel, only requires 1 shield cell to charge if the player has the gold armor. And last but certainly not least, the Prowler, so they slightly reduce vertical recoil in burst mode, increased horizontal recoil in auto mode. Quality of life. Supply drop weapons are now heirloom tier red to avoid confusion with fully kitted guns, which will remain gold. World's Edge received performance improvements, especially around the tree, the dome, and skyhook, looking towards the center of the map. Alterations were made to the ring to prevent late zones from centering on unplayable terrain and reduced the predictability of the zone's pull. As for bug fixes, there's only a few that I want to touch on. So they fixed the bug where Mirage's decoys would sometimes not deploy while skydiving, and as for Pathfinder, it states, "Hi friend!" But the rest of the bug fixes you can go and check out for yourself. As mentioned earlier in the video, the link to the full patch notes is in the description down below, as well as any top pinned comment. But that's it for the Season 6 patch notes, and damn, were they interesting. I really like the armor change they made, so we're going to see how that plays out and how it affects the early game and people dropping hot and all that stuff. And I also like that they put the R-99 into the supply drop. I think that's going to change up the meta a lot. But yeah, it'll soon be time to jump into Season 6 of Apex Legends. Let me know what you think of the changes so far in the comment section down below, but of course we'll get a better opinion on these changes once we get our hands on all of them. So yeah, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good